Ahoy, all of you flick freaks out there, what is going on? My name is Andrew, and we are here with the Star Wars Force Awakens review. This is the most highly anticipated film in history and was released in theaters yesterday. You know, no big deal. I would be comfortable saying that no director has ever had this much pressure put on him. If J.J. Abrams didn't deliver a near-perfect film, then the world was going to rip him apart. Luckily for him, this film is near-perfect. I should mention right now that this review will be spoiler-free. The first thing I would like to talk about that I did not expect going into this film is that it is really funny. Now keep in mind that it is not a comedy, but there are some great one-liners. But they're not the one-liners that you chuckle in your head at. No, these are the ones that you emote laughter. These are really good one-liners. The next thing I love is obviously the use of practical effects. Gone are the Sith days of episodes 1 through 3 where CGI reigned supreme. J.J. Abrams and his crew literally built cities to shoot this movie. They had to go to engineers and say, we want BB-8 to be a real working droid. And the engineer said, yeah, that would be great, but the technology doesn't exist for us to build a droid like BB-8. And J.J. Abrams said, okay, invent the technology. So they had to go and literally invent the technology to build BB-8 and make him a real droid. And speaking of BB-8, let's talk about the cast of this movie. BB-8's hilarious. I love BB-8. I don't know if I love him more than R2-D2 because, I've grown up with R2-D2 my whole life, but he is an astounding character. Yes, you love everything he does, just the little beeps and the way he moves his head around. It's funny. It's emotive. You care about this. You know that there's emotion going on and all of that. For me personally, I wanted to see this film, like many people, to see the original cast back in action. But I was pleasantly surprised by the fact that after the movie, one of the biggest takeaways for me personally was how phenomenal this new cast is. Oscar Isaac and John Boyega are incredibly funny. The one that I'm sure everybody wants to know about, though, is Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. Is he a good villain? And the answer is no. He's an astounding villain. His story is so fascinating to where I want to know more about him now. But the best performance of this entire film goes to Daisy Ridley as Rey. She kills that performance. Keep an eye on her to become one of the greatest actresses of our generation. And I'm not kidding. She is that good. Now for the original cast, they all fell so well into their old characters. Like whenever I see Harrison Ford and Peter Mayhew on screen, it really is Han and Chewie there. Now for the part that I'm sure a lot of you are surprised at, I do have something negative to say about this film. The first part of this movie was so incredible that the end wasn't as good to me. But they did so many things at the end of this movie that I realized why they did them. The first part of this movie was to immerse you back into this universe, and they did that job perfectly. And the last part of this movie is setting up episodes 8 and 9, which, if they don't deliver on the questions they left you with at the end of this movie, I will be a little bit disappointed. But I think that in trusting who they have to take this movie forward with episodes 8 and 9, who, if you're not familiar, J.J. Abrams is not directing those. In the end, this is now the best movie of the year. And I give it a 9.7 out of 10. I'm sure everyone saw that coming. It will be the highest grossing film in history. It deserves it. Star Wars is back, baby. Thank you to everybody for listening to this, and may the Force be with you. Thank you to everybody for listening. If you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button down there at the bottom of the screen. And if you check up in the top right corner, you're going to see a little card icon. One of those will take you over to the Game Geeks channel where we're playing Fallout 4 right now. The other one will take you over to the Flick Freak store. We have t-shirts, coffee mugs, phone tablet cases, a lot of good merchandise. We have a Patreon campaign where every dollar put in there gets put directly back into the channel to make it better, because we're all going to make this channel better together. Don't forget, we are trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are so close, I can almost taste it. Thank you, everybody, and we'll catch you in the next video. Until next time, Godspeed to 10,000 subscribers.
Great, because a former decorated member of the United States Marine Corps needs your support.
And his name is John.
Are you kidding me right now?